So I shared a quote on my Instagram stories the other day, and I'm going to read it quickly here. It says, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." Like taking the first step without really fully knowing like how it's going to pan out. Isn't that hard? That takes a lot of faith, and it takes a whole lot of trust. Oh my goodness. But, like, we have these nudges within us, right? Where it's just like, I feel like I need to do this, and it's not making sense to me, and I have no idea how it's gonna pan out. I don't know what this road's gonna look like, but I feel like I just gotta do this. I have to take action towards it and just try it. Like, just try it out, spend some time on it, whatever it is, right? Like, for me, I'd always been very spiritual my whole entire life, and I was always doing, working with crystals and working with tarot and oracle cards and all that. But it was just always just kind of a hobby of mine. And then after I had my kids, I was really feeling this nudge. Like I just really wanted to do it all the time. And I had the time to do it because I was on mat leave. And so I started practicing more and pulling cards every day and meditating with crystals and meditating more. And then it just grew and it grew and it grew until I just want to do it all the time. And then I was drawn to seek out a local medium to receive guidance on like my next steps because I'm like, I'm so drawn to this. What is happening here? And, like, I took that action, like, I had no idea what would come from that, but I'm like, "No, something's, like, pulling me to go talk to somebody. I need more information about this." And it's like, when I chose to really dive deep into learning, like, opening up my abilities, it changed everything, and did I know what was gonna come from that? That, like, I'd end up leaving my career job a couple years later and starting my own spiritual business? I would have never. If you had told me that, I'd tell you you're absolutely crazy. Like, I have a degree in my career job, like, in my career field. I have a diploma, and I have 19 years experience working in that field, but my gosh, like that inner nudge, and that was spirit. That was my soul nudging me, like, okay, you mapped this out on your blueprint in this lifetime. And I could have dove into it in my earlier 20s, and I chose not to. That's my free will, right? But it's in my blueprint, and I understand that now. So at some point in my life, I would have dove into it, right? This was probably, I feel like it all happened at the best time. I had to go through all that to get to where I am, and it's just perfect timing that I was on maternity leave and I had all the time to dive into it, and it just worked out really well. But like when we have that nudge in us, and it's just like I didn't know what was going to come from that, but I took action on it, and that led me to the next thing, that led me to the next thing, to the next. And I just did it because it felt good. And when you feel lit up, when something really lights you up, that's alignment. It's like, when I was first working in my career job, I was really, really happy. I did all my education, I got hired, it was a great job. And I was like, okay. And I was in alignment. I was really happy. But I was in alignment until I wasn't. And that's the thing. And we think, okay, we're going to do this thing. We're in alignment. We feel good. It feels like I'm so happy, right? And all of a sudden things shift and they shift again and just slowly start shifting more and more and more. And you're like, I know I started to get confused. I'm like, why am I feeling that way? Why aren't I happy anymore? Why aren't I so lit up about this? It's because I was falling out of alignment with that career because my soul was stepping into something else, into its next phase, into the next part of my life that my soul wanted me to experience. And of course that's my free will. I didn't have to leave my job. I didn't have to dive into this path, right? Like totally up to me. I chose to do it, right? And I could have totally stayed, not done this, not dove into spirituality, which led me to where I am right now, where I'm get to be home with my kids, take them to school, and have the life of freedom and flexibility and all that. And I'm really grateful that I did that, but it's not easy, right? I could have not done that and been at my job, and I probably would have been very unhappy at my job because I was unhappy at the end because I was so out of alignment and I was practicing readings on the side for a year and a half before I left my job. And when I was practicing and having like I went down to 3 days a week. So the 2 days that I had off, that's how I was just doing readings. It's like that's all I ever wanted to do. And that's how I knew I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this anymore. But I was so unhappy. I probably would have if I had stayed in that job, I would have been unhappy. Probably my health deteriorating. I know that like my nervous system was shot at the end of but by the time I left, because I was just so unhappy and it was just affecting every ounce of me. And I was dreading going to work. And all I wanted to do was do the spirit work. And I remember calling in sick one day because there's this event I really wanted to go to, a class I really wanted to attend. Um, so, when we're feeling, it's okay to feel out of alignment. It's okay that things shift in your life, that you're not happy with that anymore. Like, I want you to give yourself permission to feel that. Like, just give yourself permission to feel that. And if you're feeling that right now, like, if you're feeling that right now, right? Like, if there's a part of you, part of your life that's just like, where you're like, just don't feel the same as I did, whether it's a relationship and you don't feel the same way about your partner anymore. You're just like, I don't know if I see a future. If you're really genuinely feeling like that, that's out of alignment. It's not aligned anymore. Put my crystals down, aligned anymore for you to be together, right? If that's what you're feeling, then that's probably what you should take action on. Lots of people don't, and then they end up being in a relationship that they're not happy with, and then it just snowballs and snowballs until something happens, right? I mean, it's not the case all the time, but you know what I mean? I could have stayed in that job and been really unhappy. It's out of alignment, right? So I was getting back to feeling out of alignment, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with your job, where you're like, okay, like me, I love my job and things going great. Like it was going great until it wasn't going great. It was going great until it wasn't going great until I wasn't lit up to go anymore, to do the work anymore. Even though there's a part of me that still had the passion to do it, right? I loved it. There's a big part of me that, I mean, I did schooling, I had many years experience, but there was that bigger part of me that's just like, this isn't for you anymore. You're feeling it in all areas. And I had to start really protecting my energy. And I would invite Archangel Michael in every morning on my drive to work to protect my energy. And I was feeling depleted. And I was coming home exhausted, and I just could never get enough sleep. I was always so tired. It was just draining my energy, draining, and taking a toll on my nervous system. And so if you're feeling that way in any area of your life, I invite you to just think about that, to sit with that for a moment. Like what are you feeling? What would make you happy right now? What would bring you happiness? And that thing, like, how could you get that? What action could you take in your life right now to get you that, to get you closer to that? Think about that. Because the thing is, you can have that. We create this life for ourselves. Everything we do, every action we take, we create our life. So we can create a life of abundance. We're not, if you feel like, life's hard and all these things are happening to you and can never get ahead and, you're just gonna be stuck in this space and not move forward and like to the really true happiness you want. No, life's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So what is there to learn right now in your life? What lessons do you think that are around you right now? What's pulling at your heart right now? What do you want for yourself and for your life and for your future? And what's it going to take for things to change? Feeling like this is something that's coming up for a lot of people, especially in the time right now that we are in the world, the energetic shifts. As I'm recording this video, it's now February 2024. Lots of energetic shifts. This is a big year for shifts and awakening. We're really awakening. We're all here incarnated into this lifetime at this time in this lifetime right now in 2024 for a reason. We're here for a reason. You're alive here for a reason, because your soul had big plans for you. So I invite you to don't play small anymore. Don't settle. You don't have to settle. You have this beautiful team of angels and spirit guides on the other side that are rooting you on, that are supporting you, that are doing lots of work on the other side, rooting you on and supporting you. You can live a life of abundance and you can be in alignment. You can. And getting back into alignment is taking that inspired action. So when you feel like there's something that's nudging you to do that, you want to do something, you want to take action on something. So whether um you've been developing your spiritual abilities, you're like, oh, this has been so amazing. Like I'm loving this and I love doing readings for others and it's really all I want to do all the time. But well, how can I shift things in my life? You know, have a full-time job. I can't just leave it and just start a business. I don't know anything about business. What small actions can you take towards that? Like the smallest little actions, because when we take aligned action, like action that is lights us up, that's moving us towards what we desire, then it shifts everything energetically. So we may not see how it's all going to work out, but it will because the universe will see you. They'll be like, hey, they're actually taking they're okay, so she wants this, and now she's taking action and actually doing something about it, taking little actions towards it, then the universe meets you. And they're like, okay, here we go. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, how did that happen? This opportunity happened? Or, oh, I actually can go down 4 days a week and work. Like, I didn't think that was possible. Or I can go down to four to part time. Or, all of a sudden something happens and say, like, I don't know, but it's amazing. It's amazing what could happen. I just want to bring you the inspiration that if you are feeling a little bit out of alignment and you're being nudged, not a little bit, I'd say like you're feeling out of alignment. Something's got to give, something's got to change. I just want to give you the inspiration from spirit, from the angels, that you are creating this life and you can make your life however you want it. And by just following your heart, by that whatever's lighting you up right now that gets you really excited and happy, how can you get more of that? How can you bring more of that into your life? So for me, I was so lit up about doing readings. So I started practicing more on the side while I was working full time, practicing with other intuitives. Then my next action step was practicing with people in the public who weren't practicing, who weren't intuitives. So receiving, doing messages, giving I can't even talk, providing messages for people who like were not, um, were not practicing opening their abilities, to charging money, and that's a whole shift too when we go from practicing to charging and then moving through all of that and then deciding, you know what, I'm so out of alignment with my job and I can actually make this work right now where I can leave because I can do this and I can and support a lot of other people, like tens more people, and do this every day because that's what I love to do. And I did it. Did everything I could? No. I mean, I believed. Sure, there's part of me that believed. Or a big part of me is like, the analytical mind is like, what? How is this even going to work? But I didn't let my ego and my mind stop me. I just took little actions, and somehow the universe met me. The universe would meet with me, like matched it every time, and things just started to fall into place, fall into place. So, again, what action can you take right now towards your desires? And if you're wondering, well, what exactly is what do I actually want right now? Because maybe you have a couple of different ideas. I suggest writing them down. When you journal, what are some things I want in my life? Where do I see myself? What do I want for myself in the next 5, 10 years? And just see what comes through. And you can also invite your angels in when you do that too. Thank you, angels, for coming close to me right now and coming close to my energy and supporting me to just put out my desires. And thank you for even bringing me inspiration, inspired actions I could take towards my desires because I desire to live a life of abundance. I want to have lots of money. I want to be doing a job that I'm really happy with. I want the freedom and flexibility. I want to travel. I want to have more time to spend with my family and with my friends. And Like you can have all of that, but it's also you that has to take action on that, right? It's like when we're not doing anything about anything, or we're just like waiting for something to happen, and then you wait and you wait and you wait, and nothing's really changed, right? The universe will match you to you, right? To that too. It's the energetics. Of course, spirit wants you to live the life that you want, right? But it's up to you to take action on that, to make that decision. It's not going to happen to you. Like, you have to decide that. You have to take action. And when you do, oh my gosh, what will come from that? So, um, I invite you to journal, to think about this. I'm going to leave you with this question. How can you take aligned action in your life right now towards your desires? What does that look like? And you can write down a list of 10 things, even the smallest little things. It could be like, I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to try to catch myself when I'm thinking negatively, or I'm replaying negative stories in my mind of like, I can't get ahead. I can't get ahead. Nothing's going to change. I'm never going to get to what I want, right? Like that replay, those stories are not going to get you. They block you energetically, right? So shifting the mindset, right? Think about it. Think about what kind of actions, even small ones, like the way you're thinking, to like action steps. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start looking, just casually looking online for other jobs. Say that you're unhappy with your job, right? Or say that you're connecting to spirit, you're intuitive, and you want to shift into business. So how can you take action to move towards that life of being a spiritual entrepreneur full time and doing this work that you love to do? What can you do? So I'm going to leave you with that. Um, I love talking about this kind of stuff. I love talking about energetic alignment. I've been supporting clients with energetic alignment through angel healing sessions. That's really how it started, providing angel Reiki sessions. And then the energy, they weren't just, energy cleansing and the chakras. Like, it was more, it was deeper, and it was spirit showing me the alignment, like what's out of alignment and what's not. And then after the session, I would talk to the client and we would discuss, and it turned into spiritual coaching. And then so much, like, the client started telling me about all these things, and at the end of the session, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all that just came out of me. Like, I think that is what I really want. It's like I started to realize, well, I realized that I was supporting clients to help them to find the answers within themselves, and that's spiritual coaching. And I'm really excited to step into this next part of my path and my spiritual business, is supporting clients, supporting you to find your answers that are within you. I can't tell you what to do. I can bring channel messages through that are of guidance, that are of support, to support you on your path. But spirit and the angels never tell you what to do. Like, if you ever see any intuitive that tells you what to do, I mean, no. Spirit will guide you, though. Sure. They'll bring through some good messages and guidance, but we won't always know exactly what to do, because they'll always guide you back. And the angels, like, the beautiful thing about angel messages, angels guide us back to our heart. The messages that I channel from the angels are so, like, touching, or of the heart, or of, like, so many clients say, "Oh my gosh, like, that's what I was already thinking and feeling." It's like, yeah, the angels want to remind you that you know what you want. You feel that. And then it kind of ignites something within you, like, okay, yeah, I do feel that. Like, I do want that. Yeah, I can. It's the inspiration, the motivation, the uplifting energy that angels can bring. It's really beautiful. So if you are wanting more clarity in your life, if you're wanting support with your energy, support to kind of get back into alignment, you're feeling a little bit out of aligned in whichever area in your life, I'm offering the angel experience. This is where I channel guidance and support from the angels. It could entail angel healing, like energy healing, as well as energetic. So I can tune into the energy of the situation and support you, and again, we just chat. It's a mixture of like spiritual coaching as well as channel messages, and that's for 60 minutes. So it's a bit of a just short 1 hour, kind of getting to the point, getting not to the point, but bringing up what angels feel can best support you right now. My next offer after that is actually 3 weeks of support. So that's 3 calls. So one 60-minute call per week for 3 weeks. So that's 2 energetic alignment calls where again, that's a combination of breaking through channel messages, that's spiritual coaching, that's energy work, and then two of those calls, and then one angel healing. Um, it's really an activation. So it's a healing session where the angels and beings of light support your energy and clear, and then bring through like an activate to activate like your soul gifts, your soul's desires, like what you're here to do in this lifetime, right? It's really neat, and I chose 3 weeks because it's deep energy work, and it's like if you have one thing that you really want to focus on right now, let's do that in 3 weeks. Let's like set that goal and let's start moving towards it. With 3 weeks, we can through energy work, through guidance, through spiritual coaching, like let's figure it out. Let's get you back into alignment. That's why I call it the divine alignment activator. It activates you to get back into alignment through energy work and spiritual guidance and coaching, to get you back into alignment, to like to your desires, to like what lights you up, so that you can take some action steps and get back into alignment, get on that path where you're like, yes, this feels freaking good. Like, yes. And then you go and it's amazing. So that's my second offer. And then I have a third offer, which is my mentorship, where it's like, if you want all of that, but in 3 months, where like I'm with you for 3 months, bi-weekly calls. And again, like energy healing, energetic alignment, spiritual coaching, channel messages, using various spiritual tools and working through strategies to support you. But like over a period of 3 months, what we can work through, right? The energetic blocks that I can support you to move through. And whether this is for you, whether you're developing your spiritual abilities and you want support as you move through maybe some energetic blocks, you want help, you want support to deepen your connection, um, or whether you're starting your spiritual business and just wanting to support to start that, because that's a whole transition in itself, moving from a hobby, like a passion, into a business and setting those foundational aspects, right? So my 3 week container is great if like you're just feeling a little stuck on one of those things or stuck in something in business or in your abilities. And then we can work through that in 3 weeks. It's really intensive work we do, or 3 months. We're like, okay, it's flowing and just one thing at a time. We're moving through it. Um, and it's beautiful supportive container. So I'm here to serve, I'm here to support. I've been there. I've developed my abilities from really not seeing spirit or connecting to spirit my whole entire life, but always feeling connected, to fully diving in and opening my abilities and doing angel readings and animal communication and energy work, and then to starting a business and laying the foundations and starting a business from having no experience in business to learning the foundations and walking through that and doing it myself. I had mentors and coaches along the way, but not a lot. I only had really one mentor when I was developing. And when I started my business, I had no mentors. I did it all through doing the free classes and getting people's free PDFs and stuff, and really like YouTubing and doing all the research myself. And it was overwhelming and it's been a lot. And I probably could have gotten further ahead much quicker if I had reached out for support. So that's why I'm offering my 3 week container. It's just like, yeah, if you're feeling stuck, let's give you a jump start, a boost, and like hold you in that support and help you move through that. Or if you're wanting that 3 month mentorship, somebody walking beside you as you're moving on this path. Because oh my gosh, is it so nice to have a mentor? somebody that you can, like, and that's why I offer the Voxer support in between. So you can message me on Voxer any day during the week between our calls, like, hey, I have this idea, or hey, I'm thinking this, or whatever, just to bounce ideas off of, or ask questions, or, like, I'm feeling stuck right now and I could channel a message for you. I mean, I'm here to serve. So if please don't hesitate to reach out anytime. And I trust that um I was called to do this video today, that something from this video is gonna support, is gonna bring you some, at least some inspiration. So till next time.